Hey, what's up, guys? Luca here. Sorry we started a little bit late. We were okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was eating my pizza. All right, I was eating my pizza and I was waiting for All Day to show up because he showed up late. So yeah. But this is gonna be the Persona 5 spoiler cast. I've had these guys on my show before, and every time we're doing like Scumcast or one of my other impromptu shows, or every time I'm on like Enrique's show or like anything like that, we start talking about like Persona, just like we start talking about Mass Effect and Dragon Age. So I plan on doing things like this, like I plan on doing a Mass Effect show. I plan on doing a Dragon Age show. And maybe we can do Bloodborne after you and All Day beat it, because All Day said he was going to play through it. We'll see if he does that bum. And yeah, like I'm just, I love Persona 5. And I'm genuinely excited to talk about this game with you guys, because you guys are very passionate about it as well. And it's like even Supervillain, who is a bum in all aspects, beat the game twice. He platinumed it. So he's a hardcore dude. So,
I love me some Persona.
Yeah, Persona's lit, dude. Like, I remember a year ago, I was dogging on the game heavy. I was just like, what the fuck is this anime game? Like, I love anime, but I was still hating on it. I thought it looked stupid. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting this. And, yeah, my fucking opinion changed. It changed hard. I'm always willing to give games a chance, especially if they're rated well. And, I checked out some gameplay. Two of my favorite streamers were playing it, and I was like, okay, cool, dope. I'll give the game a shot. I gave it a shot, and I ended up falling in love with it. So, you should always be willing to try new experiences and new games, because you know what? I like playing games, and even something like Destiny 2, which I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be interested in it. I put 8 days in it, so I'm willing to try new things, you know what I mean? But, if you guys want to, like, introduce yourselves, and yeah. Either of you can start, or any of you.
Well, I'm always here. It's the king of, you know what I mean? Here to talk about Persona 5, one of the game of the year 2017.
Facts.
But yeah, ready to get these questionnaire going. Let people know that this is a spoiler cast. So if you haven't played the game or don't want to get spoiled, you can please exit that rectangle shaped thing over there. Just walk through it.
Yeah. And, come back when you finish the game in 150 hours.
Facts.
Facts.
Yo, someone on Twitter, he was just like, yeah, I'm at Palace 6, so I'm almost done. I'll listen next week. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll see you next month.
You're not there yet.
Like, yeah, he's not even close to finish, dude.
Like, I remember when I was on the last palace. I think I was on the second before the last palace, and I remember a month.
Oh, he disappeared.
Oh, he just dropped. That's
so the villain. Wow, right?
Wow. They both dropped. Frauds.
I don't know, man. Maybe Hangouts has like an anti-fraud software thing going.
Well, that was cool.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Maybe because you and
Soba,
villain
why are you
dropped out
calling all
at the
day a
same
fraud,
time.
man? That's not cool.
Enrique, you were calling me a fraud before I got here.
Fuck. No, what happened was Lucy told me, like, have you been to the Mementos, like, further down? And I was like, kinda. And now she was like, well, you might want to go further. And I was like, why? She was like, yeah, because
that's what she said.
You're gonna need to. And I was like, all right. So
yeah, I
had 3 requests that I needed to do in there, so I ended up going to the bottom anyway, so I didn't have to travel anymore. So.
Yeah, okay, so it's funny, right? Okay, I'm gonna totally bash All Day right now. All Day got the game when it came out. I got the game like late December, sometime in January, something like that, right? So I'm playing through the game. We're playing through the game together, right? He had a head start on me. Not only did I catch up to this dude, I beat the game twice before he beat it the first time.
Facts, that is true. Yeah.
I was just like, All Day, what are you doing, bum? Catch up.
Well, I mean, you treated Persona like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
basically, like, I don't play a lot of games. With the games I do play, I am 100% focused on, hyper focused. I'm like, I'm finishing this. I'm gonna enjoy it. And right now, Tryhard says he has 212 hours after 2 playthroughs. I have 205 after 2 playthroughs, and I plan on going through it a third time because there are certain personas that I have to get because I do not have them, because I didn't max out Hifumi's confidant and Shinji's confidant. I think those were the only 2 I didn't max out. Oh, and
Mhm.
yeah, Hifumi and Shinji. Those are the only two. But Villain, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking. All right, but yeah, let's. I want to hear you guys' like general thoughts. Let's start with All Day.
Well, I think my first general thought was like, I want to give this game a shot just because, based on gaming history and the Shin Megami Tensei series and just knowing kind of the surface level of this kind of franchise. I knew a little bit about it, but never played. My first introduction to Persona was Persona 4 Golden, the fighting game, which is fire. Played that, and yeah, that game was dope. And I seen this game; it was getting high, critically acclaimed on all sources of reviewers and everything. So I picked it up at launch. Actually, I think it came out April. I think picked it up at Best Buy. I bought it, played it for about I don't know, maybe in like an hour or two. Really didn't understand how it worked. I was just playing all wrong, right? So it kind of turned me off to the game, and then that first palace, I was just kind of confused. It just, I don't know, I just picked the wrong times to play the game, and it kind of, stumbled my opinion a little bit. But I ended up going back and falling in love with it. So that's about it for me.
All right, go ahead, Slow Mo.
Yeah, so like I haven't. This is like the first Japanese RPG I played in a really, really long time. I think the last one was like Final Fantasy 13, and no, Final Fantasy 15. But it was a huge break in between, just because the quality for RPG it just really wasn't there with what I was looking for. But this one's awesome. I mean, like I when I picked it up and I heard so much about it and started playing a little bit, and I think maybe the first 4 hours I was like, I don't know if I'm going to finish this. But then I know we'll get deep into it, but like right around when with the first main boss, you kind of figure out what this guy's really about. What is his name? Not
Kamoshida?
Madarame. Kamoshida, yes. Like once you start really understanding like what this guy's about when you're in his palace, I was just like, oh man, I really want to take this guy down. That's why I could really just start getting into the game, and I loved it. It's probably one of my top 5 Japanese RPGs, which is a huge thing because as a kid, I played through all the Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger. I've I've played a lot, and this is really up there.
All right, for sure.
Wow.
All right, go ahead, Supervillain.
All right. I 100% love JRPGs. And this I've been waiting for this game since 2014. You know what I mean? It's been pushed back, and they say it's coming out here and there. And, I'm just excited that it's out now. Definitely a big fan of the Persona series in general. Man. Another thing about Persona is you don't have to play the first game to understand all the other games because all the games are standalone stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all in all, I'm definitely excited.
Where does Persona 5 rank for you in terms of the other games?
Number 2, next to Persona 4. I love Persona 4.
Oh, okay, that's good to hear. I plan on I'm actually considering getting a PlayStation Vita so I can go back and play Persona 4 because Persona 5 is that good. You know what I mean? It makes you want to buy a dead system. Oh god. Okay. Enrique.
Yes, I am here. I'm sorry, I had to go grab a beer real quick.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So I just want to say, Sea of Thieves is so much better than Persona.
Oh, we are
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm
no.
joking.
God, can I escape Sea of Thieves for one fucking stream? For one fucking podcast, please.
No, I'm joking. I love Sea of Thieves. I'm sorry. I love Persona 5. It's a great game. It's one of the best. It's one of the best games I've played this console gen, and I spent so much time in that game, and that game is so deep. You know, I just realized the game. I bought into the Holy Grail as a gamer. The game fucks with your mind. I'm telling you, the game is so deep, and we're gonna talk about this stuff because I know, look, we're talking about like Mementos and like like how the subway tunnels are like channels into people's minds and stuff. Like it's real deep.
Yes.
And but it's such a great game. Like the characters, there's the character variety in the game is fantastic. The music's awesome. I was a little down on turn-based combat for some time. But I thought that this game, the way they presented it, how stylish it was like really cool. And it really sucked me in. Like I can't say enough about this game. It's literally one of my favorite games this console gen. Even like it's funny, like when I first bought the game, and I put it in the PS4 and I turned it on and that like music comes on and I would start bobbing my head. I'm like, yeah. And you know what? And I started getting like I started getting like, okay, I was like, this reminds me of like Jet Set Radio a little bit, like the opening scene, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I knew right away. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking dig this game. I'm gonna dig it because it makes combat look cool. Like
Yes.
it makes turn-based combat look cool. And I thought it's a better game than Final Fantasy 15.
Oh,
By
for sure.
by
By
far.
far.
Yeah, I don't know if like I think it was Slimmo. I think you said that it's like your top 5 or top. I forget what you said,
It's
but
definitely top 5 for me. Yeah.
yeah,
It's top 5 for me as well. The Witcher 3 is number 1. Bloodborne,
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3. I'm sorry, what?
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Bloodborne and oh man.
Oh my god, we're
Wow,
not doing
I
this.
love
We
it.
are not doing this, all
But
right?
wait, but Slow Mo was comparing it to like other like Chrono Trigger and stuff, and like the original. I mean, that's a pretty that's a pretty bold statement, Slow Mo. I mean, those are classics, man. To say that, and I'm not saying like I played Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. I don't know if I agree with that that Persona 5 is better, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there.
And I get that, and I know I compared it to the classics, but it took me back to just the feeling of really just getting deep into the story, just kind of like where you start playing. For the most part, you play a game and you don't really get immersed in it. You don't really get deep into it. Like you look at your phone every now and then, someone texts you, you'll pause or whatever. But I remember playing Chrono Trigger and just. I was a kid, of course, so no one was shucking for me then. But I just being deep into the world and just losing hours, not even realizing how many hours I had played. And I got that same feeling with this game, just where I just didn't. It's like 1 a.m. I got work tomorrow, and I'm like, maybe I can do a couple more days, like days in the game, just like a couple more days, get to that Sunday, and then I'll stop. And next thing you know, it was like 2:30, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna be really messed up at work. But I had that feeling with this game again, and I agree with the turn-based combat. Turn-based combat is so obsolete now. It's not really what you see anymore. But they did it well. They did it extremely well in this game. It's just the depths of it. I love the way they kind of slowly, gradually bring you along. They didn't give you everything all at once where it would have overwhelmed you, but all the different things that you would get from the combat. I love how, like, if you find the shogi player, when you build up your confidant link with her, then you start to be able to unlock certain things where you can
she is
call
like
other
so
people
helpful,
in.
dude.
Yes, I love that. I was like, yes, I can finally call my backup people in because I was leaving palaces, like just because I couldn't like get, some battles. I'm like, all right, well, I know I got these guys that are my top guys, but I was afraid in the middle of a battle that I might die and then lose a bunch of progress. I'm like, I'm just going to backtrack back to the safe room because I couldn't switch people in and out in battle. And being able to do that, I mean, just little things that they added to the battle system, like in the middle of the game. I found that to be really great.
But you know what? The battle system wasn't overcomplicated either.
It's really easy to understand.
Yeah, and that was the
at
that
first
was really
for
nice about
me,
it.
At
made it
first.
simple for the new players, though. That's a definite, though.
Yeah. What pissed me off about the game when I took a break from it, I had really bad SP management in that first palace when I first played the game.
Dude, same.
So-
Hold on, like real quick. I just want to say that I almost fucked up so badly because okay. When I beat Kamoshido's palace, I had 1 day left.
Really?
Yes, because I fucked up. I didn't realize the importance of get this shit done before the deadline. I didn't know that it would start you over from like a week before, or you'd have like
Yeah.
I didn't know about any of that. So I was panicking. I was in Kamoshida's palace. I had no SP. I was struggling. I was like, all day I can't do this. All day was like, just leave the palace. I'm like, dude, what if I don't have enough time? He's like, just leave the palace and just it's gonna be okay, Luca. I'm like, okay. So I left the palace after like struggling and crying and just like really suffering because I was like, I really don't want to restart this shit and go through all this
I was
again.
like, fuck, we're gonna lose her. We can't lose her.
I was slipping, bro. But like I said, I managed to beat the palace in 1 day. I was like, thank God Almighty that I was able to do that because I definitely would have dropped this fucking game. I would have been like, nope, I'm done.
Hey, Luke, I have a question for you, real
What's
quick. Is this game for pedos?
No, it's not.
Like, if you play this, does that mean you're a pedo?
No.
I mean, I really don't
Here
want to
we
get into
go.
this stupid fucking cockroach discussion. Like, I mean, you gotta realize, like, nothing about this game screams pedophilia at all. Stop with the sick fucking thoughts. It's a good game. People enjoy it. Just because you're a fucking coward and you fucking just want to play Sea of Thieves and drink fucking salt water. It's not up to us.
Oh,
You know
why
what I
would
mean?
we
Like-
like to see a
You know
thieves?
what I mean? Like,
I
Why
just
does
wanna I do want to say for if anyone comes across this who is not in the Xbox communities, there are people in the Xbox community, a person in particular on Twitter who said that Persona 5 is for pedophiles. It's nonsense, complete bullshit. You know, we all have had words with the person. It's just like that's why Enrique made that comment. So just clarifying.
I made the comment because it's so ridiculous and over the top.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
and
It's
for someone
like,
even
it's a stupid
comparing that, you
comment.
got to kind of realize where their brain's at. Why are you even thinking something like that about a video?
Yeah,
Well,
but
because they might be a pedo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
if the first thing that comes to your mind is penis demon, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh man.
But I tell you what, the presentation of that game too. I mean, let's like the artistic value of the music and everything, and even like the turn-based combat was so like cool. Like that's like I haven't seen a game like that in a long time.
Mhm.
And well, I mean, I think that's well, I shouldn't say that. That's kind of been a staple of the Persona franchise for many years. But this time of day, like to see that, and it was such a breath of fresh air for me. Like I was coming off of Horizon Zero Dawn, playing that, and then going to Persona 5, and it was such a breath of fresh air for me. And this game will make you think. Like it's crazy. Like Luca, you and I were talking about like mementos, and like we're talking about like how deep, like if you really think about it.
Mhm.
And like I said this earlier, like there's alternate endings to this game. Like the Holy Grail got me. It got me, and you will, and some people will submit much the same way to the Holy Grail, the way that society does in that game. And I just realized that today.
Yeah, no, I totally.
Yeah, it
understand
makes you
what mean.
kind of makes you reflect like how we are as a society, as people, how sick and fucking demented we are, and if these kids can act like they're superheroes and go in and change these people's train of thought and make them better people, you know, the whole premise of the game and the logic behind it is fucking great, and it's really impactful, man. It really is.
It really is. But I do have a question for Supervillain because I was gonna look this up, but I forgot. So so the shadows, so the different personas you get, are they different? Like, I don't what's distortions, interpretations of like people's minds and stuff? Because there are certain personas that are like really weird.
I know they are, but some of them honestly are based on folklore and things like that.
Yeah.
If you really pay attention to them, some of them are based on like things in like old folklore shit, and
Like Greek mythology, I think too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Christianity, because there's a Satan, Lucifer, and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Yeah, there definitely is. There's definitely like that element of religion to the game.
Mhm.
Like you said, Luca. I mean, like Lucifer or like the devil. What's the one that Joker has? He's the one that has the devil
Arsene.
persona. Yeah. So
Arsene, which is based off Arsene Lupin, which was, I think, a character in a book.
Yeah, it was. I forgot the book. I know what you're talking about. So
Yeah. But yeah, this game's fucking amazing. If you haven't tried it yet, I'm giving it my seal of approval. I have 200 hours in the game. Game's fucking dope. It's amazing. You know, it's amazing. And before you go into New Game Plus, look up what New Game Plus is, because I gotta fucking tell you, before I did New Game, like when I was going through New Game Plus the first time, I was pissed. I was like,
Oh,
I
boy.
lose my levels. Where the fuck are my personas? I lose all my items. What is this? But then it's like, oh, okay. It's actually, I can actually go get my personas. It's fine. All right, I'm good.
but,
Yeah.
but how about
I
those
freaked out.
how about those dungeon designs? Like the dungeons are the level designs in the dungeons are so good.
Oh, for real. But
yeah.
you know what?
And Ricky, we're not saying all that.
Let's do our. What do you mean?
Fucking whack ass puzzles. Fuck that game.
Oh yeah, no. I definitely don't want that, bro.
What are you talking about? What puzzles?
There's
All of them.
The puzzles in Futaba's and Okumura's palaces pissed me off really badly.
Well, I mean, they're a little frustrating, but come on, they add a different dynamic to the game, man.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
It's
nice
better-
and all, but that shit pissed me off.
It's better
But
than Sea of
okay.
Thieves.
Oh my god, we're not talking about Sea of Thieves. Oh my god. All right, you know what? Okay.
The puzzle in Sea of Thieves is how do you find the Kraken's body?
Like, how do you find the rest of the game? But you know what? I'm not. Oh no, not like this. I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Wow.
No more Sea of Thieves talk.
No more Sea of
it.
No,
Thieves.
I highly disagree with you all there. I love the puzzles. It added a different dynamic to the game. Because think about this, like what
Yeah,
if
it is different. You didn't mention good.
Oh snap!
No,
I mean,
it did
he's got
after.
a point.
No, it was a good dynamic because I mean, think about this, like because every dungeon
People
was like
saying good dynamic. I agree. Variety
Oh.
is cool,
yes,
but is it a intricate, interesting, fun puzzle to do to accomplish? I don't
Yes.
fucking think so.
yes,
Okay.
I think
mean,
so.
Luke Taylor, listen, the game, it took me 114 hours to go through. We're saying 200 because, like, me and Villain have gone through the game more than once. We went through it twice. So, you only went through it twice, right?
I'm clocking in at damn near 400 hours.
Oh, yeah. So,
Damn.
you know.
I don't know how
It's
to
also
act.
kind of like, yeah, you can beat the game in 114 hours or like 100 and something hours. And I know that seems overwhelming, but by the time you hit hour, I don't know, maybe 30, you're addicted to the game.
Can I just say something real quick? Like, you know what's interesting about that game? Like, playing as Joker and going in and going into, these dungeons or whatever, and stealing the hearts of the people you were trying to change, and then like at the end of the game, like or at the end game there, you were like, yeah, we changed so and so, and but you know what's kind of cool? Like going back to the cafe and shooting the shit with I forget his name, the owner of the cafe.
Sojiro?
Yeah, like just like hanging out with him. It kind of reminded me of like Cheers. I'm dating myself.
Oh, I'm too young to know what that is.
Yeah. So
I remember.
No,
Cheers.
I'm just kidding. I
old
know what
too.
that is.
yeah, but I feel like he's like one of those characters. He was so likable. Like, you go in and you have this stressful day. He doesn't know what's going on. And he's like this kind of like father figure kind of, and you go in there and you talk to him. And I kind of felt like that was kind of like a downtime for me. I know it sounds crazy, but it was.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. Like for me as a gamer, like going to the cafe and having a coffee. Not me personally having a coffee, but the Joker having a coffee, and just like shoot the shit. Like it was kind of like cool. It's kind of relaxing in a way.
Is it just me, or did it seem like Sojiro was like a straight up pimp back in the day? Like the
way he dresses, though, yeah, he is.
I was just like, man.
Oh, check this out, pimp. You ain't gonna be fucking around.
He
here.
had
Clean
his
up your
fucking
damn
hat
room,
tilted
player.
first. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Make sure you lock this place up at night, all right? You hear me, player?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, so it was like, I'm out. If anybody wants some spicy noodles and some coffee, you know what time it is.
Yeah. What did you guys name your characters? I'm gonna go with mine first. My first character, first name to last name was Hanabusa Azusa. Hanabusa because Hanabusa It's a character from this series I read this manga I read when I was growing up, and it was a vampire series. I can't remember what it was called though. Vampire
Vampire what?
something.
Vampire Night? No, it's not Night. I don't think so.
It might be Vampire Night.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Because there are not too many vampire animes, so.
Yeah, and then I mean that shit got kind of weird, so I stopped reading it. But it's my business. And then Azusa was also the name of a character from this manga I read growing up, so I like that name. And then my second playthrough, my character's name was Chiharu Miyazaki, and I just like the name Chiharu. I was gonna name him Chiaki, but then I was like, well, Chiaki Miyazaki, I'm not gonna do that. So,
Did you say Miyazaki? What?
Yeah.
Dark Souls.
Yeah. You peeped that, huh?
Yep.
All right. What about you guys?
Okay. Well, so I named my character. First name was Super Ultra. Last name was Dropkick. I just for some reason, all right. Every time they show my name in the game, it was just funny. I just laugh. So yeah, I always do stuff like that.
That's
Whenever
funny.
I can make a name, I'm making the most craziest, funniest name I can think of at that time, so I can just laugh all throughout the game.
Yeah, make the dialogue a little bit more funny when you read it out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, they did something similar.
Yeah, I named my character Bitch I'm Goku. So it wouldn't spell the name all the way, right? So it'd be like bitch I'm. Yeah, I just did it just because fuck it, I'm a boss. You know what I mean? I run this shit here. But yeah, that was my character.
What about you, Enrique?
Easy.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Okay, villain.
My first character I named him after me, which my name is Tobias. And my second character I named Kenshiro after my boy from Fist of the North Star.
Oh, okay, nice.
Facts.
Okay.
That's a dope choice.
Sorry, I'm just cleaning up these crumbs from this pizza I just ate. Anyway, so who's your favorite character? I will go first. My favorite character is Makoto. She's the babe.
Trash,
I love her. Shut up.
Garbage.
Makoto is the best character
Garbage.
in my opinion. She is my favorite.
Yeah, she drive her little tricycle. Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's a motorcycle.
It's a motorcycle. I'm gonna get mine out the way. My favorite character is Makoto as well.
Yes.
She's the most balanced.
Yeah.
She's the most level-headed. You know what I mean? She's like the hard ass. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's true. She's
the adult in the room.
yeah, she is definitely, and I can respect that.
She was my go-to.
Yeah,
at times.
most definitely.
She was in my main squad, But what about you guys?
I'm just like everyone else. I'm Makoto. I found my conversations with her to be the most interesting. She didn't make me want to and sometimes I'd be like, yo, just suck it up.
Oh,
and,
shut up. Sometimes.
Ryuji, please shut up. And then just like other people, but with her, I was really interested in the things she had to say. And as far as in battle, she is a mandatory character to have, I think.
I agree.
I agree.
She's balanced. Her physical attacks are strong. Her nuclear power, magic attacks are strong, and she can heal. I'm just what can she not do? She's the best one to have on your squad.
No, I agree. She was always in my A team.
She's a hybrid. She's a healer / damage. DD.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy that I got her when I did, because I was like, bye, Morgana. Get in, Morgana, the fuck out of here.
And then you realize that you need Morgana more than ever.
I know, right? And Morgana saved my ass in Okamura's palace, though. Facts. But what about you, Enrique? Who's your favorite?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Makoto as well.
Yeah.
Just because she really is. She's probably out of all. I didn't I never sidelined her at all. She was always in a battle with me, so she was like my go-to. So I'll go with her.
All right. And what about you, villain? Who is your favorite if you're sorted?
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Fix your
Uh,
connection, bum.
Listen, you don't. We're not doing this. All right, my favorite character is Ryuju, of course, the best character in the damn Persona.
Ryuji's trash.
He is
Ryuji's
terrible.
trash, dude.
Let me
He's
tell you something.
garbage. He
Let me
has
tell you
screwed up everything. That guy is an idiot.
No. You know what the thing about it is I hate about the game is they make him the butt of the joke of everything in that game, and he's not the butt of the joke. Like, come on, he's the muscle of the team.
Yeah, but he's still an idiot.
No, he's not.
He's really annoying.
Nah,
bro.
we're not. Nah. We're not doing this.
Nah, he's annoying.
Oh, we're doing this. We can have a whole Ryuji podcast, bro.
I mean,
Like,
like first of all, the amount of times Ryuji pissed me the fuck off while I was playing the game. I'm like, Ryuji, shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
No,
shut
but
the fuck up!
but in all fairness, he's a good kid. He just makes rash decisions. That's what that is, man.
I
That's
agree.
all
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. He is underneath all of that, like he is a good person. He's just so stupid, you know?
Yeah, he's got a great heart. He's just dumb as a box of rocks. And it's just like when he starts talking, my eyes start rolling, and it's just you can tell like and it's still a testament to the game that they kind of made a character like that, and yet you can actually see in the body language when they're like all together in the hideout and he says something like super dumb, and then everyone just kind of like sighs or like, you know, kind of leans off to the side like, for real, bruh, like really.
Yeah.
and it just kind of shows like how they still in all the scenes, you know, kept everyone's personalities going.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know about villain, but I played through the game in English and Japanese. I prefer the Japanese for all of them.
Yeah,
all of
me
them.
too.
What?
Me too. I can't
That's
stand
awesome.
that English.
Yeah, like Ryuji and Morgana's
no,
voice actors are so fucking annoying.
We're
Like
not
they're
gonna do this,
so
though.
annoying.
We're not gonna do this because I watch anime a lot, right? I'm a fan of, you know, dub or not dub, right? It doesn't matter to me. But I can say these voice actors aren't cringy.
No, they're
You know
not.
what I mean? They're
No,
really
they're
good.
not bad. They're
No,
really
they're not
good.
bad at
but
all.
I
No,
just
they're pretty good.
Listen, sir. I said I prefer the Japanese. I didn't say the English was bad.
Oh no, I'm just putting it out there because you know
Now,
a lot
Yeah,
of
fuck
people,
Danny.
you.
that's a
Fuck
turnoff.
you all. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a
But,
turnoff for a lot of people.
the
is
only
the cringy
issue
ass.
I had with like the English voice was that Takamaki. It's Takamaki. Like, please.
Yeah, the pronunciations are wrong. Yeah.
Please, just it hurt me every time. It hurt me every time. Kitagawa, Tikagawa, and I was like, Kitagawa. Like, I just like, what are we doing here? You know,
Right.
that was the only thing that bothered me.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to say that I think Makoto was my favorite because we got like. It was the only time really that the camera went away from Joker and focused on a different character. So we got to see things from her perspective, right? So you know, we know that the principal was like pressuring her. You know, her sister's a fucking bitch who's pressuring her. You know, we just see more of Makoto. So every time like An or Ryuji would talk shit about her, like back in the early beginnings of the game, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Y'all don't know my girl Makoto. All right? She's just doing what she's got to do.
But and
know?
she was under a lot of pressure too. I mean, like her father, you know, loss of her father, and you know, her, you know, sister and her sister's place in, I guess, society, if you will, you know.
Yes.
And she was like this, like, you know, there was a lot riding on her and her success as an individual, coming out of school and being like, you know, having to live up to this, you know, this standard, if you will, that her sister set and that her father said. I mean, it's brilliant in a lot of way because you're right. It took away from Joker and it focused on another aspect or two other characters in the game and what they were going through, and it really made you feel for them. You know, and I think that's probably why a lot of us are like, you know, out of our, you know, look, Joker's probably my favorite character for me, because of what he went through in the beginning of the game and everything, and his story, but then Makoto, like everything she went through, you know, there's some similarities in terms of loss and having to live up to a certain standard with both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so anyhow, that's my rant.
Yeah. I love her. You know, she's great, and I think them showing us what was going on behind the scenes with her was a smart move. Because I think if we just like, if she was just someone who's like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like, you know, being all nosy and shit, we'd all be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like, you're annoying as fuck. Stay out of our business. But since we got to see that other side of her, we're like, yeah, she's amazing.
Let me ask you guys something. Like, isn't it? And I think this kind of speaks to the brilliance of the game, but it's an amazing. Like, we're talking about all these characters, and we have our favorites, right? Whatever, right? We have ones that we don't maybe necessarily care for, but we all have some kind of like emotional investment in them, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to do, I think, with that many characters in a game.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think the reason why you have so much emotional investment in these characters because this game really dealt with adult themes, and to kind of go back to my top 5 and why I put it up there is that I'm an adult now, and if I tried to play Chrono Trigger again, I'd be kind of giving the side eye to kind of some of the quote unquote drama that the characters deal with that's kind of juvenile. But then you look at some of the themes that are in this game. You got potential rape. You got potential rape with
let's call it spade. He raped her. Like, he raped her. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, he raped her. You know, that's one thing I dislike about the game is that they pussyfooted around that shit.
Are you talking about On?
No, Shido. Not Shido. Shino.
Yes.
Shiho?
Yeah.
What is her name? Shiho?
Yeah. Shiho. It's Shiho.
Yeah. Kamoshida raped Shiho, and they
and he was trying to rape Anne.
Yeah.
He was trying to rape her too, and it deals with extremely adult, and Shiho attempts suicide, and I mean that's some stuff that you don't really see in games. You don't really see that at least I haven't seen that in a Japanese RPG before. So it's something that really kind of, made me really feel for these characters and made me really want to curb stomp the villain.
Yeah.
So it's a real big motivational factor to it.
And I'm going to be honest with you. After Kamoshida, I was not like super emotionally invested in any of the villains. Like, none of them had that same impact with me. None of them made me think
the same thing. It's crazy. I said the same. I was telling my boy the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, none of them made me want to like take them down like Kamoshida did.
They should have saved him for another palace.
You know what? That's a great point. Like, I feel the same way. Like, they weren't any other villains except for maybe the guy that was trying to be prime minister. There weren't any other villains that I wanted to like get at, and I think part of that too speaks to, like, for me, like, it speaks to, like, we all went to high school. We saw bullying, we saw people doing things that weren't necessarily right, and like that kind of spoke to me a little bit, like that these kids were like trying to have a voice, and they were trying to do things to kind of right the wrongs, but then there was this part of society that didn't really necessarily believe them or give them that opportunity to kind of voice themselves. And I think that speaks to a lot of the things that we see in society today.
You know what? What's even worse is that they make it extremely clear that the adults all were aware of what Kamoshida was doing. So even the parents of the volleyball players, they knew that he was at least beating the kids. I would like to hope that if they were aware of like the sexual harassment, they would say something, but they were aware of him beating them.
Yeah, I think they were aware of the beatings, and they accepted it as something that needed to happen. So like the volleyball team was good, like tough love or tough coaching. I don't think they knew about the rape. I think that was something that, because I mean, if they did, what his confession really wouldn't have been as impactful as it was when he finally came out and said it. And then some of the teachers were just kind of like, well, I didn't know it was that. Like, I mean, I can't remember what they were saying, but just kind of paraphrasing, they didn't really know it was that bad. But they didn't know that he was abusing his authority. They all knew it, and they all just accepted it because he's this popular Olympic, former Olympic champion, and they're just so happy to have him there or lucky or whatever. He's just ran all over everybody.
You know what? And it's what's even more sad about that is like this guy was Olympic. Like this guy's a clown. He's a fucking high school gym teacher. Like, shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. You are you're nothing. And yet he acted like he was so much better than everyone because everyone elevated him to that status.
Yeah.
And he just ended up as a gym teacher.
But Luca, but that speaks to people's how people champion and put people on pedestals that are like that. It speaks to like how we idolize like false gods, if you will, and I think that's what that's speaking to is society. Like we do this all the time. I mean, you look at like athletes. Athletes are paid more than teachers and firemen and police officers and doctors, and we idolize those people, right or wrong. They could do things that are like I think of Ray. If you guys know who Ray Rice is, I think of him knocking his girlfriend out and dragging her out of the the elevator. I mean, but he was someone that was there was people that were defending his actions because he was someone that people worshipped as like an athlete. And it's crazy, and I think that's what like this game speaks to. It speaks to a lot of the flaws that we have as a society. And you guys are talking about like the beatings and stuff that Kimishita was doing, and it's crazy. Like I think about like the recent trial with the doctor of the U.S. Olympics.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot of gymnasts coming out and saying that I forget the guy from like the '96 Olympics. He was like a Eastern European guy, but he was very like people are coming out saying he was physically, mentally abusive. But people like champion him champion him because he was a winner.
Yep.
And so I like that's like the brilliance of this game. It speaks to so many things that we see in society today, and it makes us think about those things.
Yeah. Yeah, and even though Kamoshida is probably the most impactful villain, you can look at all the other villains and still see some really adult, mature themes with the situations that were going on with them. I mean, you got Madarame stealing his students' work and calling it his own.
Yeah, at least 3 of these guys have like sexual abuse under their belt, right? Because Shido was gonna rape that woman, and he's probably done it before, right? Yep. And then in Kaneshiro, it was implied that he was prostituting high schoolers. So, like, these are not good people. These are not good people we're taking down. But it's just kind of like when I was playing through Madarame's stuff, it's bad, but I was like, okay, well, he's stealing people's art. That's really not, I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. But then it's like, I mean, I think that's why they threw in the twist at the end where he was like, yeah, he watched Yusuke's mom die. I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay, you're sick fuck. Yeah, I get it now.
yeah, just like, that just took it over the top. Thank you. I needed that.
Like, yeah.
Because at first I was like, a nigga stealing paintings? Come on, bro. You know what I mean? But then I watched her choke on her own blood. I was like, oh fuck. All right. Well, shit.
Oh, okay. All right. This might be this may have a segue into our least favorite characters, but Yusuke, I can't stand his ass.
What?
I don't like him.
Oh man.
No. Are you serious?
I like Yusuke.
He's a creep. He's a creeper.
I mean, yeah.
Luca, are you serious? We talk shit about you.
Creeper.
What?
I do. I like Yusuke. He is a creeper, but I like him.
Yusuke is a creeper.
Hello?
Yo,
he's
like, okay, yes. I'm inviting you guys over. Wait, not you guys, just you. And I want you to pose with me.
Tell me, wait. Wait. You can't tell me the funniest shit was not when he's like, An, you seem a little overdressed, and the camera pans to her, and she's wearing like 60 fucking shirts. That shit.
Wait, do you remember when they're in the car, like they're going to the beach or something, and An's like, well, they're looking down, I guess. Yeah, that's when I was like, oh my god.
I mean, they were all looking, but yeah. I mean, Yusuke's a creep, and then when he I mean, when he invited Joker to like the fucking let's ride together on this romantic boat ride, and you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean, I still like Yusuke, but he is he is a creep. He's weird.
No, bro, the character I hated the most was always Akechi.
Really? No, I didn't like Mishima. Mishima got on my fucking nerves.
Akechi was an asshole.
Man, he's a clout
Yeah.
chaser. I ain't mad at that. He's trying to hustle.
Yeah, Mishima was just annoying as
Hey,
fuck.
Hey,
though.
hey,
Gone
dog,
at all?
I got these. Hey, niggas got problems down there in the depths, bro. For real?
Okay, but yeah,
man.
but it's like when he was just like, well, I'm gonna use the Phantom Sight. I'm gonna show these guys that I'm so much better. And it's like, ew, Mishima, can you like grow some balls, please? Like something? Mishima was my least favorite character.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna tell you what he reminds me of. He reminds me of some of the fanboys in this community.
Oh man, not like this.
Yes,
No,
yes,
straight.
yes,
Let me be honest. They take the clout of their favorite company and their favorite piece of plastic and act like it's something they did. Because that's what he does. He's like, yeah, the fam thieves going to take them all down. Yeah, I'm with them and I'm cool like them. I'm like, no, you're just a guy website. Like, know your place, bro. You're not doing anything.
Like, nigga, you are a secretary, bro.
It also doesn't help that from the dialogue choices you get with Joker, Joker doesn't like him either. Like, we're not supposed to like him.
No one likes him.
Like, no one likes this guy. He's like, can you room with me in Hawaii? I'd rather not. Stop being so. Don't be like that. Don't be like that, Joker. Just room with him. I'm like, okay, Kawakami, but like, I don't like this guy, but okay.
I love the conversation between him and I think it was Futaba when he's like trying to hit on her and she just shuts him down so hard. I was like, yes, kill his heart. I can't stand this guy.
Oh, you know who? Okay, you know a character who I really like, but I found them like kind of off-putting? Haru. And let me tell you why. Her dad dies 3 days later. So yeah, we should really solve this. We should really get to the next one. She didn't give a fuck. I was like, okay, I get that your dad was trying to sell you, but can you have a little bit of emotion? Like,
okay,
shit was weird.
If your dad said, hey, look, I'm going to sell you to this complete douchebag over here who's going to use you as a sex slave, and he died, I mean, how would you feel about it?
Okay, I'm just saying that normal humans.
Yeah, but that wasn't a normal situation.
You know, like, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I thought it was off-putting, and I thought she was going to be like a traitor at some point. I was like, okay, she's kind of weird, you know, but I like Haru. I like her. I just thought that was odd that she didn't have any emotions about it. She was like, well, we really should get to this next palace. I'm like,
I do like her persona. She looked like the Lone Ranger.
I didn't like her awakened persona.
Yeah.
Shit was weird.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back because we kind of talked about this earlier about like I think she has like the least amount of personality. Any other the characters, I thought she was most boring.
She definitely felt like a shoo-in for real.
Yeah,
she did kind of feel like a shoo-in.
Yeah,
and you get her so late in the game, it's just kind of like I'm trying to build up my confident ratings with you, but I really don't want to. Yeah, I'm like, you can like stay on the roof
like Futaba should have been the cutoff point for adding new characters.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they should have added Haru before or at that same point. They shouldn't have added her. It was just too late to me to grow a bond.
I think, personally, I think Haru was needed, right? To throw off a little bit of suspicion from Akechi. Because from up to the point of Haru, we were there when everyone awakened their personas, right? So all of our party members, we were there when their personas awakened. We get Haru. Haru's already in the metaverse. She's already doing her thing. So it's like, oh, okay. So when we get Akechi and he's like, yeah, my persona's awakened as well. We're like, at least for me, I didn't think that was weird. I was like, yeah, okay. Because I, for one, was completely floored by the fucking surprise. Because I wasn't, listen. There's many times I was fast forwarding through this game. Okay, I'm gonna admit it. All right. So I completely missed the pancake thing. So I didn't know that Akechi was the bad guy.
Yeah, and Morgana like caught on to it.
Yeah.
Like, but then she recognized it, but she never like said anything.
He said Morgana said something to Joker. They figured it out together.
Yeah, but like later on in the game, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never
But-
said anything like at that point.
Yeah, I didn't figure it out there on the. I didn't catch the pancake thing, but I
didn't
did
either.
catch when you went into the palace and he was hiding behind the sign outside of that building,
Yes.
and then later
shows
on
up.
he shows up and he completely fabricates the reason like what happened to him and how
Yep.
he got into it. And I was just like, that's not what happened.
He's like, I was following you guys, and like all of a sudden, like something happened, and here I am. He's all innocent.
Yeah, and then he said that the actual killer, who was him actually, but he said the killer attacked him and he just barely got away. And I was like, but that's not how what happened. You were creeping and stalking them, and you got in right when they were going into the palace. I was like, okay. I mean, I already, as soon as I saw him at the TV station and that fake, that fake personality he puts on, and he tries to act all nice and kind. I was just like, no, something's not right about this dude. This dude's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Always showing up at the coffee shop and just
my second playthrough, I was like, get the fuck out of my coffee shop.
Yeah, it's so
I saw-
funny. Like every time I would come back to the coffee shop, I said, I walk in, oh, here go this nigga again. What the fuck you doing? But you know what's weird about that whole
He
arc
seems
was
so
that,
pretentious. I didn't like him.
right? Like, okay, he from when they first introduced his character, he seemed very condescending, and you know you didn't like him. He rubbed you the wrong way, right from the beginning. And I like the way they put your guard down by thinking he was cool, and then along your first mind with them was like, hey, I don't like this dude.
No,
So you
I always
forgot
thought he was
about
a
it.
rat.
And then they brought him back. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you're just looking on surface, you would think, oh, he's a fucked up dude, and then you like him, and then you don't like him, and then your first mind was right. You know what I mean?
Well, then he fights with you though. He ends up fighting with you guys.
You would
and-
never. I would never
Yeah.
think that like someone that we actually. He's everywhere. He's fucking everywhere. You know.
Right.
But the only
That's
place
real
he's
crazy
not.
too.
The only place he's not is at the when the game is starting up and you boot up the game and it's playing that song, right? Who am I? Da, da, like all that good shit. He doesn't show up there. So I'm like, okay, but he's on the title screen, he's on the fucking box art. So it's like, okay, well, plus he's like
And then when he was playable.
Exactly. And each new teammate you get gives you the attacks that you don't have, So you know how Yusuke, lightning, on fire, Morgana, wind, Haru, psychic,
Yeah.
Makoto, Frey, like that kind of shit. And he had blessed and cursed. So I'm like, okay, well. Oh, but one thing I didn't like, okay, real quick. Akechi's outfit was fucking hideous.
It was.
The little school outfit.
Straight trash.
It was
mad.
bad, dude.
It was terrible. It looked like a Boy Scout.
I was like,
He looked like a fucking bellhopper.
He did look like a bellhopper.
disgusting.
Fuck.
I
Yeah,
hate
but he had the whole private school thing, and he wore the leather gloves. The leather gloves were kind of creepy, actually. Now think about it.
That was fucking Major Nelson and shit. You know?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh man, not like this.
Yeah, yeah. You look like a character from Sea of Thieves.
Oh man.
Oh, don't you start your shit.
Enrique,
there you
I'm about to kick you off the show if you mention that game one more time.
Why would you kick me off the show? I bring entertainment.
Yes, I tried to fight the twins try hard. The coolest thing about that shit, right, was they attacked all of my teammates. They got all of us down, and then when they did that all-out attack, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So I didn't mind getting my ass kicked. But
Nah, but the trick to fighting them is fight them as Joker. Don't even use anybody else.
yeah, I was watching a video of that because they only like attack really. So
Yeah.
oh damn, I should get a persona that reflects attacks too.
Damn, I gotta go back and play this game.
It's so good. I'm going through it a third time after.
I need to go back and play it.
Maybe like a year or something.
And this is like the only JRPG I played, because there's been a lot of JRPGs that, hit home with me and I really enjoyed, Golden Sun and Breath of Fire and all this stuff, right?
Oh,
But
Golden Sun, bro.
man, so when the game was done, I haven't felt this way. Like when the credits rolled, I was like, I sat there, I just sat there on
You
my
cried?
chair and I was like, you know what? I want to go back. Like I want to go back right now. Like I want to go. Let's go. I want to load it up and let's go again. I have no problem going back. And it's kind of, that's a big thing for me, coming from playing a long ass fucking JRPG like this, and to be can't wait to get done with it, but then ready to go right back. That speaks volumes to me as a gamer.
New Game Plus is
None, yeah.
extremely easy with like the weapons you have and the personas you get. So
Yeah, pretty much.
And knowing I didn't get the best personas that I could have got. Oh yeah, I
oh
definitely need to
man,
go back.
you definitely need to. Oh, that reminds me, I got a fuse to get Alice. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, but speaking of, you know how All Day said, okay, there were many times in the game where All Day wanted to quit, where I also wanted to quit because this game pissed me the fuck off. And I want to talk about that for a moment. Like, were there any moments where you guys were like, hey, yo, fuck this game? Like, after you lose, I think the most I've ever lost is like an hour and a half of progression.
Oh my god.
And it was in Shido's Palace. I turned that shit off. It was that giant King Frost motherfucker.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this shit right now.
Yeah, that was to me. I think that was the only time I really felt like, and I think I did put down the game for about a week after that because I was just so pissed. Like when he popped up and he killed. I was just any deaths in that game in between getting from point A to point B to get to that safe room, it's quittable.
Yeah.
I give it's when you're losing 2 hours, 3 hours of progress, it really does set you back and piss you off. But I mean, the game just goes back to just grinding, man. Once you grind, I mean, that game is honestly the shit I know now. If I knew now what I used it back then, like, bro, like that game is kind of easy, bro. Like you're just at level, because for me, I was under the impression that I say I'm level 55, enemies are 65. I could pretty much kill them. It's not too bad. But then when you get those level 72s and you're 65 and 73. Then it's kind of like, okay, I'm pushing my fucking luck here. I need to go ahead and grind a little bit, So as long as you can level accordingly, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the most difficult parts that I had is just running out of SP, and I think probably the where things started to ease up for me is when I found out that Takami, the doctor, when she sells accessories that replenish your SP per turn, I was like, what? Let me get on that. So I bought those up. When I found out that the vending machines beside the laundromat sell like sodas that give you 5 SP per soda, and it will replenish every day. So after that, before I would go back to the coffee shop to go to sleep, I'm stopping there, buying 2 more.
Yep.
By the time you get to the end, you got a whole just stock of SP build up that you can build up and kind of
Bro,
I did,
to that next safe room.
Let's
That's what I did.
real quick. Most useful persona, most useful confidant, Kawakami. Kawakami. Kawakami's the fucking OG. She's the best, bro. I guess her and Chihaya, but I never got Chihaya up, so.
Yeah, Kawakami for me, that was the most.
Is she the shogi player?
No, she's the teacher.
Oh, okay.
When you max her out, you get the fuck off in class.
Yeah, you can slack off in class, so you can make like fucking you can make stuff and read stuff, and she gives you massages after you come from the metaverse, so it frees up your night, right? Which is extremely important in the beginning of the game. Yeah. She also, what else does she do? Oh, she can like make curry and fucking coffee for you, so you can go do some other shit. Like she's the best.
Yeah. She can wash your laundry for you.
Yeah, she does wash your laundry for you.
Yeah. I did find her storyline really sad.
It was really sad.
Where she was about to.
That's why I had to give her that pipe to cheer her up. You know what I mean?
You're stupid, man. Hey, I did too all day.
You did. There you go.
You feel bad for her. Come on,
give her that pity pipe. You gave her the pity pipe. Man.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys. Luca, I do have to go. I gotta drop out because I gotta pack. I'm heading out of town for the weekend, so I gotta start packing.
Okay, bro.
All right, Rico, man. Nice talking to you, bro.
Yeah. So, no, this is great. Glad we could finally do this.
Yeah.
We talked about it for a long time. So,
thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta leave, but I gotta start packing for tomorrow.
No, it's understandable, bro.
Yeah, I gotta get butt ass early, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Ew.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the beach, man, for the weekend. So
nice.
That's what I'm talking about. All right,
take your Switch with you, bro.
You know what, man? I might take my PS4 for Bloodborne actually.
Oh shit!
Oh man.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, my 8-year-old's like, "Can you bring the Switch?" I'm like, "Nah, we're not doing that."
Wow.
He won't want to do it. I already know if I do that, they won't want to do anything. So
Yeah.
you know, then I'm getting cross-eyed looks from my wife, and I can't deal with that. So
Yeah, facts.
yeah, but yeah, guys, been a pleasure, Luca, as always, a pleasure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
No,
so
no doubt.
yeah, I'll catch you guys later, and all day, man. We gotta do a podcast, man. Ever since
Yeah, man, I'm down. We can do Brad. I'll do Brad.
hey, we might have to call Jay Fonzarelli out, man.
Yeah, we hit him up, bro. Hit him up.
Yeah, we have to hit him up. So,
Yeah.
but, all right, everyone, a pleasure as always, and I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
All
see you
right,
later, bro.
man.
All right, peace.
Take it easy.
So anyway, so what was you guys' favorite palace? Like the design, at least, and also gameplay mechanics, all that shit.
I'll go first. Size Palace was my favorite. The casino and you said the mechanic or the
Yeah.
gameplay mechanic.
Mhm.
I think the critical hit is some of the best shit I've seen in JRPGs, man. Like the hold up, the interrogation part, like just knowing what they're weak to and not have to. Because I mean, it gets monotonous, right? But the monotony kind of gets, it's not as bad when you can critical hit them both or however many enemies you have, and move on with your day. Take money from them, get an item from them, and you just move on. You don't have to sit there and have a full battle,
Exactly, I
And
agree.
I thought that was great. So.
I agree about the casino size palace. I enjoyed that one the most, probably because there was nothing in it that made me go to Google to figure out. I have no shame. I don't care. But that's probably the best gameplay mechanic. I loved how entering the battle was so important. Like if you ambushed an enemy, you got to jump on them. You be able to end the battle like if you had the right people and with the right skills in seconds, like 10, 15 seconds. Battle's over, on to the next one. But if you slipped up and they got the drop on you, you could really die.
Yeah, you can really die, bro. Facts.
Yeah, I love that part of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the hold ups as well. My favorite mechanic was the all out attacks. I just think it's shit's so stylish and cool. And for each character, there's like a different background. And my favorite palace was my favorite palace. I'm gonna have to go with Nijima's my favorite. So Sai?
Yeah, Nijima. Yeah, got you.
Yeah, I'm over here like, am I talking to myself?
No, I feel you. No. That palace was dope. It was just a backdrop, the colors, the lights, it was straightforward. You didn't have to think too hard. I know I did get stuck when I didn't have enough money for those to open the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the fuck how am I supposed to get this money? Like,
yeah,
because when you play the dice, right, and she hacks it, you waste all the money. Like you get all of it, you win it all. They have no more. So like, okay, now what the fuck do I do? But once I figured it out, it was cool and the palace was smooth.
Yeah. What about you, Villain?
Definitely the casino was definitely cool as hell. As far as the hold up system is good. The all out attacks, I've seen that in Persona so many times, so I already know what that's like. That's cool too.
Okay, what else were you gonna say all day?
Oh no, I was gonna say my worst palace was what was the worst palace? I think it's between two of them. It was Shido's and Futaba's.
Yeah, I'm down with Fataba's. That one just pissed me off so much.
The puzzles were so fucking horribly designed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my god. I just got and you know what? I don't know if it was just me, but that palace lasted way too long. It was long as fuck.
It did.
Yeah, it was really long. And like I think Kamoshida's palace is pretty short if you think about it, but
His palace is extremely short.
yeah, it's really short. What was Madarame's palace is pretty long.
I didn't mind it though because it still seemed very straightforward with his. I mean, I think there was one part we had to drop out of it so that to let him to change the cognition and let him know you could get into that room just so you can go back in and actually get in. But I mean, it still was pretty straightforward. And plus, I probably that might have been my second least favorite one, just because I really just didn't really like Madarame. I didn't. All the characters were all trying to save Yusuke, and I'm just like, this loser. He's just letting this guy. I mean, does he need to be saved? Just walk away, man. Like
Yusuke. What? Okay, listen. Yusuke is what? 17, 18 years old. He's lived with this guy his entire life. He doesn't know anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, when you see him in the art gallery and everyone, and you even ask him straight up, did Madarame paint this or did you paint this? And then he flips off on you and just like, of course Madarame painted it. And he knows damn well he didn't paint that. And then how is this guy your mentor if this dude's got like paint block or painter's block and he's never painted anything? He's never painted anything.
Listen.
What is he teaching you?
When emotions are involved, you're not really thinking,
That's true.
But you guys are just speaking from a place of hate since you don't like Yusuke, so
it's true. Facts.
Like, I just like the fact he has a soul. I think he's trash though.
Oh man, not like this. I like Yusuke just fine.
I'm gonna tell you the worst. I'm gonna tell you the worst part. The worst part about fucking Persona. This is a huge fact. #fact. What sucks about completing this game multiple times and having a blast with it is that you're not gonna get one for like another 5-6 years.
Facts.
Think about that.
I don't mind that. Like I don't mind waiting for that. Some good shit, man.
You're right. And you do get Shin Megami Tensei. That's coming.
Yeah.
On the Switch. So.
Well, I haven't played this is the only Persona game I've ever played, so I'm pretty interested in the other ones, and I don't know if I want to get a Vita to play 4, but I really want to play.
Once you download an emulator or something.
Yeah, I might do that on download emulator on my PC. I thought you were going to talk about what your least favorite part of the game overall, but for me, when it comes to that, I hated how. And I understand it, but I still didn't like it. How if you're in a romance with a character, and so I was in a romance with Ann, and Morgana keeps hitting on her, and everyone keeps and it's just there's no acknowledgement that you're in a romance with this person, and then all the other characters are like, "Hey, Joker, you want to go, hang out with these girls?" And it's just like, dude, don't you know
Man.
I think it was like that because Joker can date all of them.
Yeah, but then it just seemed like I kind of wanted, and it may be something that they can implement in the next installment. But I just kind of wanted there to be some variation in the dialogue, for it to go down a different path. If you say are in a relationship with this person, then you can there'll be some additional comments, or maybe it was take away some dialogue here and there, but it just the whole time, especially that trip to Hawaii, I was just like, yo, stop asking me these questions. Stop trying to get me to cheat on. That's not what I'm trying to have this character do. Now, my current playthrough, he gonna go try and run through everybody.
Oh man,
the previous one, it was just and then it was just no acknowledgement to the romance that was there. So I kind of wish that was something that was different.
I think the worst part about the game, and this is subjective, but for me, the battles were not the only thing that made me want to quit. After each palace, when it gets to that big story dialogue, it just dragged. I'm literally. From the second to third palace, I think it took me 2 hours just to get to the next palace full of dialogue. Yeah. I was like, you got I appreciate it. I appreciate the writing. I appreciate the story. But 2 to 3 hours of just talking, bruh, no. This is just too. There's not enough. There's not much to talk about. We know what's going on. We know what happened. Now we got to go do. I mean, It should have been in all days perfect world. It would have been, you finish the palace, you beat the boss, you get the money, you go out to eat, and then it's on to you moving on. That's it.
Yeah, and then if you finish your palace early, like I always
Early.
finish my like
Oh
a
my
week early,
god.
and then it's just like everyone's just like, well, we just gotta wait and see that change of heart happens. I'm just like, stop saying the same thing,
Bro, we have 17. Like, bro, slow. Hey, no joke. I remember I told Luke I finished, I think the 5th or 4th palace. I forgot, but I finished it early. Or I think it was size palace. I finished it early. Bro, I still had 17 days left.
Oh my gosh.
God damn.
I was
I like finishing the palaces early because it gave me more time to do social links.
Yeah, and that's why I
but
started
after that
doing
5th day,
too.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. After that, I was just like, yeah, let me just start building up my links with this confidant, that confidant, do the part-time jobs to try to get my social skills up. Yeah, just all that stuff. I would just,
And I really didn't like the mementos too much.
Oh yeah, I did.
hate Mementos.
I hate mementos as well. That shit.
Yeah.
And what was even more annoying is that I stopped doing requests after a while. So by the time it was time to get to the final palace, I was like, well, I have to go through 30 floors of mementos. Okay.
Yep. All right. Have
fighting
fun.
all these people.
Right.
And are those floors randomly generated every
Yep.
single time?
Yep.
I hate randomly generated dungeons. And this would be kind of like a little bit of a side topic, but in the Division, one of their DLCs is called the Underground, and I think probably the worst of their DLCs is because it's all in this like the sewers of New York, and it's all randomly generated, and it's just so
monotonous.
boring. Yeah, it's just so boring.
I like it when it's randomly generated because you never know what to expect.
Hey, you ever fight the Reaper villain?
The Reaper.
He's
in Mementos.
in Mementos.
No, you should have known that right off the bat. You beat the game twice, nigga. What happened?
Yeah, man. Listen.
You all right?
That was actually not a trick question. I was genuinely curious.
I got so many games on my brain, man, lately, man.
Nah, it's all good, bro. Like I remember when I left my controller idle one time, bro, and I seen the screen start shaking and warping. I said, what the fuck is going on? This motherfucker pop out, bro. He's not weak to nothing. No damage being done. I'm like, yeah, this is a wrap.
Yeah,
so I just figured out you had to beat him during flu season.
Oh, that's how you beat him? Is okay.
Yeah, it's flu season. He's weak.
Yeah, he needs despair.
I ran into him once because I was playing real late and I dozed off and the game I was just sitting there. And when I woke up, I was just like, wait a minute. I was still on the platform. And like I can tell something wasn't right because the screen was all like warping in and out real weird. I'm just like, what is happening? Let me just get to the safe room so I can save and get out of here. And as soon as I started going and I saw him, I was like, oh crap, it's him. I just tried to run. You can't outrun him. He's a track star. So
yeah, he's fast.
Yeah. I saw the screen shuffling for a second. I was like, nope, bye. Peace. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, I mean, maybe on my third playthrough, I might go and fight him, but nah, man.
No, we ain't doing this, fam.
Oh my god. I'm playing Persona right now, and I keep getting hit by the fucking Confused. Okay.
Ooh, I got. So, who was your favorite Persona?
That's a good one.
I don't have one yet. I think the one I used the most was I really like Matador. I didn't have any big powerful ones, but after I leveled him up, he had almost every element I needed to be successful. So he was one of my favorites. I don't like the way he looked.
My favorite Persona was Raphael.
I don't have him either.
Yeah, we don't have the cool ones, but
oh well, I mean, I'm just saying. Like I like Raphael. I like Satan. I like Raphael, Satan. Yep, Raphael and Satan. That's one I'm vibing with.
I fought Raphael. I just haven't made him yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite was, I'm probably gonna say this name wrong. This is the reason why when we talked about this in the Discord, I couldn't remember his name because
Yeah, I'm sure.
it's like Komokuten. Yeah, I butchered that.
What do he
But
look
yeah,
like?
basically, he looks like a samurai that's
Uh-huh.
holding a scroll.
Yeah, I
And
know who
all
you're talking about.
yeah, I love him because all of his attacks are like one. He's really resistant to physical and ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm.
He has no weaknesses to any of the elements, and he can buff. So like love using him with Joker, and then I would have Haru, Makoto, and An, and I would buff their attacks and then just do just straight physical attacks with him while they're all just using their strongest attacks to just destroy everything. I think when I got him, and I think also he has like a high chance high chance of dodging hits as well. I think like 50%, something like that. So I was never in danger using him of losing a battle. You know, that random, just like someone really got one really good hit on you on Joker and took him out in the middle of a battle, or especially a boss fight, and you're just like, man, I was about to win that. And then they targeted Joker and took him out. Like I never had to deal with that because he was just like so resistant to everything.
All right, nice. All right, what about you, villain?
Okay, bye.
Okay, cool. I think his
villain's favorite persona is the devil on the toilet. I'm sure.
Villain's favorite persona is Mara, the giant penis demon. Yeah,
the
that's
penis demon.
Yo, legit, like I like never wanted to have that. I don't want that fucking persona, man. But I had to make it because I want to beat the complete the compendium. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll make this fucking penis demon. But I really didn't want to.
Yeah, that thing. Oh my! Like when I saw it, so like when I was fighting that and like near the end of the game, and one of my kids comes by my TV. He's just like, Dad, what is that? And I'm like, son, go like somewhere else. Like I don't know what to tell you. It's a monster, I think. Yeah, I don't want to tell you what it really looks like. Pretty sure he could tell though.
All right, nice. Yeah, that shit's kind of spooky. Like after I saw that, I was like, okay, I kind of understand where people are coming from when they say this game is weird. Like I get that, because that shit is weird, but there's so much good with the game that I'm willing to overlook it. You know what I mean?
I want to know.
Facts.
I wish I was a fly in the room on when that was like proposed, like when the artist designed this and said, "Yeah, this is going to be one of the we're going to put this in there." And they just looked at it, was like, "Yeah, big green penis. Let's go. All right."
Oh god, it's so green and slimy.
And which one's worse, the little chode motherfucker, or the one on the chariot?
The one on the chariot.
The one in Chariot by far.
That's just disturbing, bro. Like,
when I first saw it in fucking Kamoshida's palace, I'm like, okay, I get it. This is like manifestations of how disgusting Kamoshida is, right? But then you just randomly happen across it, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? I'm like, all right, well,
yeah,
I didn't ask for this shit, man.
Well, I'm happy he's dead, and I don't have to see him anymore. Hopefully, we don't have any vaginas on horses. In the next game.
Man, not like this.
Have your team beaten. You know what? I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's not even doing
it. We're not doing this, fellas.
Beating it up.
Yeah, bro.
But okay. So what? Like, who do you think was the best villain? I mean, personally, okay. Her best villain.
Like, you mean like just like the well thought out, drawn out, like.
Yeah, well thought out, well drawn out, like all of that.
Honestly, bro, I think Kamoshida was the best.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Kamoshida as well. And like in my opinion, the least thought out villain had to be Kaneshiro. That we didn't know anything about him,
Yeah.
Like he was just kind of like whatever.
Just there, you know what I mean?
But if anything, we were more focused on Makoto's story for that arc, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go a little different this time. I'll say Haru's father, Okamura.
That was a good
I
one.
call,
That was a good
he,
one.
he was very good. I could not say relate to him, but he reminded me of like these big time CEOs who just don't care about people at all, or they care about his money and power. And so like the way they would like producing their food and all that stuff. It just reminded me of so many. I can't think of actual CEOs that would do something like that, but just corporations that just don't really care. And that's why I really enjoyed taking him down as well.
My second favorite villain, well thought out villain was, it would have to be oh my god, I just brain farted. You said kind of sure that was a mob boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think who did I
Okay.
want to take
Well.
down
Okay.
the
Well.
most?
Okay. There was Kamoshida, Madarame, Kaneshiro, Futaba's mom.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Futaba.
Yeah.
Now, I think that was the second best for me because they dealt with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And her fighting her own demons and traumatized by her mother's death. And I think that shit was really deep, man. Like she was battling her inner demons, and I think that's very important. And it speaks volumes to what people go through on a daily basis. All this stuff does, but that one right there, mental health is something serious, and I'm glad they touched on that.
Like when I was playing through it personally, it made me feel like I wish I could get the Phantom Thieves to come and fight like my inner demons, so I can be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I struggle with depression, and it was just that's something that like it hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, another adult theme that a lot of people can relate to, a lot of people deal with on a daily basis. Like I said, this game it's got a lot of deep stuff that a lot of people can really understand.
Well,
yeah.
But a lot of people worry about penis demons, So.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, but yeah, I think the least. I'm thinking, like, this game is just so good in so many ways, and it's like I like how like the palaces represent the deadly sins and all that stuff. I thought that's like a really cool concept as well.
Right.
It's just lit, It's just a great series and a great
Gluttony,
game.
wasn't that the burger one, and then?
No, I took a picture because I was looking it up earlier. But okay, Lust is Kamoshida, Vanity is Madarame, Gluttony is Kaneshiro,
right?
Wrath is Futaba's mom, Okamura is Greed, Nishima is Envy because she's jealous of the men around her who have success. She's jealous of her sister because she's still young. She thinks she has it easy. And then Shido was Pride, and then Mementos was Sloth.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, that shit was like really, that shit was lit to me. I was like, damn, that's kind of, like I love when they implement that kind of stuff in games. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I like the themes. That's really cool. Plus, it's like really easy to tell because it's if you the trophies say like, oh, this is you just defeated the Palace of Lust or like shit like that, right? So
yeah. They tell you, yeah.
I'm
still kind of mad.
I never got
to. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, Villain's back.
Is he?
Oh well, no. You know what? He never actually
left. He never left.
Yeah.
Villain's a bum, but yeah.
Yeah. I never hit a home run in the game. I'm kind of pissed off about that.
I tried hitting like I tried that shit once, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good on this.
Good, fam. No, I'm good, fam.
I feel like I might have. I don't know.
Yeah, I know I didn't.
Yeah, I was never like really interested in that. Like, I'm like, no, I'll fucking raise my shit a different way. I'm good.
Right. How'd you guys feel about the little meticulous little tasks you had to do, like reading books and playing the video, like all the little tiny tasks? How'd you guys feel about that mechanic of the game?
I didn't. In the beginning, it was annoying.
Yeah.
Because I would always forget to get a book, and so I wouldn't have any books when I'd be sitting on the train. But I kind of enjoyed the video games because it was like there was one that was like it was like Mike Tyson's Punch Out that I really liked. I played that one and that was cool. And it also gave me some social skills, so I was like anything that does that, I'm down with.
Right.
The movie theater ones were I didn't really like those because they took up too much time. But once I maxed out the homeroom teacher and she would give you those timeouts, I was able to then in those time periods that free time of going ahead and reading some more books, and because I never felt like I had enough time to do that. But
time management is so important in this game. Like I always felt kind of stressed. Like I don't have enough time to do anything. You know what I mean? I didn't mind doing like the little task. I thought like, okay, this is a good use of my time. Like especially reading the book on the train. Like I'm like, oh great, I can get certain stats up here. Like I'm happy on New Game Plus you carry over your stats because that took up a lot of valuable time that you could have been using getting up your social stats. You know what I mean? Or your social links. I
spent a lot of time at that stupid flower shop trying to get my kindness up so that An will look at Joker in a nice way so I can get that, get up in there. I was just like, man, I gotta get my kindness up to what? All right. But now it's I think I'm at level 4 for everything but knowledge. I'm already maxed out. So yeah, I shouldn't have any problems on my second run with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather spend. I swear to fucking God, I'd rather spend time. I almost got hit by the fucking confused spell again. Like this shit annoys me so much. But I'd rather spend time getting my my confidence up. I felt like that's just more important to me as a character, and it takes forever. You know what I mean? Like this shit takes fucking forever because it's like okay. You kind of feel like, okay, this is like not going to go up anytime soon. Cool. Tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Tryhard fan in the chat said on flu season, wait for Reaper to appear with despair, block until he dies, and repeat over and over and over until you're done. So do you get any rewards for killing the Reaper?
I know you get a trophy for it.
Oh, okay.
You probably get a bunch of XP for it. Probably, I'm guessing.
When is flu season?
I think it's in November, December, I think.
Yeah.
Around there.
Okay, I'm definitely going to consider doing that shit.
But I am definitely...
I'm doing that too.
This is my life after Persona. I think I'm going to go back. I think it's like $50 for the collection, like the for the soundtrack and art book. I'm going to go pick up those on Amazon.
Yo, the soundtrack is lit.
Facts, dude.
Yeah, that's one thing we need to cover. Let's talk about that because that's very, very important element of the game. I thought it was the strongest soundtrack I've ever heard in a video game in my life. Besides, I'm leaving it out. I mean, original tracks, not like Grand Theft Auto or anything that's licensed. By other artists. Like this is, even though it is licensed, but you know what I mean. No, this is made for Persona. This is,
I love the music. It's like
it's fucking great.
It's so good, dude. There's like so much good shit. It's like
Luke, would you agree that the music is just as immersive as the game itself?
Yep.
And what is that?
It's the game.
What? Are you playing the music so we can have like some type of foreground to our conversation?
It's got to start up.
Oh, there we go. Hey. But how could you not like that?
Yeah. The singing's on point. I really enjoyed the music. And it's so different.
It's like cool. It's like it's kind of universal. It's not too much of one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anybody can enjoy the song. You know what I mean? So
there's a couple of Final Fantasy RPGs that I really like the music, but it's very classical and it's a particular kind of genre. But this
it just reminded me like soul funk jazz.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounded great. I was looking forward to each. Like, how many times have you sat there and just chilled in LeBlanc cafe
Mhm.
and just listen to the music, man. Just dun, dun. You know what I mean? Like every palace, I was excited to see what the next track was gonna be, and every time I went to a palace, I liked the different songs more and more as I went on. So I think they did a phenomenal job with the music, and it's kind of weird to see a Japanese company and a Japanese game be so in tune with the music. Like it was. I'm not saying the Japanese don't have good taste in music, but I just wasn't expecting that type of approach. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the
To the
music
music.
really, like I love like my first time playing the game, right? And it's like, you
Right.
never seen it come, like that shit had me
It was lit.
it was so cool, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm really feeling this, you know. Like
Right.
it really got me into the game, especially during Kamoshido's Palace, you know. I was like,
Right.
and then there's just so many good tracks, and it's like the way it would transition from battle music to like the music in the open environment, the shit's
Right.
fucking lit. And then the
It
boss
was.
music, it's like,
Yeah.
bro, come on, this shit's
It
so
was lit.
awesome. Like
How,
this game is
how'd
amazing.
you guys feel about the ending? I got some mixed feelings on the ending. I kind of wasn't satisfied that much. Like, I just expected more, I think, like, I don't know. Or a cliffhanger, or, I don't know, something. I just didn't want it to end. Maybe that's just I didn't want it to end, but.
Yeah, I
don't
get that feeling like you just don't want it to end. I love how they were driving Joker back to his hometown, and they're
Right.
all in the van, and it's just you can see how that like they're just really content in it all, even though like their friend is leaving. That
They still want to go with them and to give them that support,
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
I can't remember because I romanced on. I can't remember if she had agreed to come with me or not. But
I don't know. I didn't romance her. I don't know.
yeah, I think she agrees to come with you if you've only romanced her though. If you romance multiple people, you're probably going to get screwed. But
And not in the fun way.
yeah.
Right.
But it was I really enjoyed it. I guess I'm at a point where I love happy endings now. Like I just finished Heavy Rain remastered a couple weeks ago, and I got the best ending where the
No.
I'm not gonna ruin it, but I got the best ending, and it was I was like, oh, because when I played it on PS3, I didn't get to like the endings I got. I was like, the hell is this shit? I was like, man. Even though I had like saved the day, it was still bad. It just due to the other things that had happened. And then I ran it through it again, and then some other people died, and still got to the end. And it was just like, okay, that's just depressing. And but this time I finally got a happy ending. I was just really kind of sat there on my couch and just really was like, yeah, that's what I wanted to see. That's how I wanted it to play out. So I don't know. Maybe I'm on this everyone lives happily ever after kick right now. I need that for a couple more games before I'm ready for some real cliffhanger / depressing shit.
Well, after Life is Strange, I needed some happiness in my life because that shit was depressing as fuck. I'm just saying. But yeah, I like the ending. I thought it was like a good metaphor for it's like, okay, you're driving back home, but then it's like, well, actually, you know what? We can do whatever we want, and that's what the game is about. It's about breaking free from the chains of captivity and from the whims of the adults that are in your life and just making your own decisions. And I really liked it, and a little smile at the end. It's great.
Yeah.
How many of you guys thought that, okay, so I did everything right with while we were in the interrogation room with Sai, I didn't sell out my friends. And, Akechi comes, you get shot in the head. I legit thought I fucked up because there's like a long period of time where nothing really happened, So I'm over here sitting here like, did I say something wrong? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird until you like realize the entire plan and what happened. And it's like Joker sitting there with a little smirk on his face. I'm like, oh my God, I love this shit, man.
That part was very, very immersive and very impactful. Like when you get shot in the head and I'm thinking it's real, I don't know. Like it took me by surprise. And I was
Would you say you never seen it coming?
Ah! Never seen that.
Zing.
Yeah, I never seen it coming. Yeah, I didn't. It was very cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool that it happened, but it was cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was waiting for something because I knew they had a plan, but I didn't know what that plan was. So it was just like I'm waiting for something to happen. Like someone is going to save Joker, someone's going to come in the room, and it was just bow. Whoa, wait a minute. So he did. And I was like, wait, no, something. I'm missing something here. And then it's that whole the part with the cell phone, and it's a cool plan, but it could have just very easily not gone the way they wanted it if Sai was just like, okay, whatever. Takes the cell phone, walks right past Akechi, just says hi and bye, and just keeps it moving. Then you're screwed.
Yeah, very, very true. And it's like, I read that if you take her deal and you sell out your friends, then you die. Like legit, you just die and the game's over.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, how are you gonna sell out your friends after you spent all this fucking time, building up these relationships? How are you gonna sell people out? You know what I mean? So I think it's a fitting end.
Y'all see this in the chat.
What do you say? Wow.
OBJ the Don. I don't need spoilers for Persona 5. Still got to finish playing. Just drop by the support and let everyone know that Sea of Thieves is trash. What up, Luke?
What up, Obi?
What's up, OBJ? Yeah, we, Enrique was here taking shots at Sea of Thieves. I've never taken a shot at that game before, right, guys?
Yeah.
She
she basically assassinated the game by uninstalling it after 20 minutes of play. So, yeah, she had the grand finale. So.
Oh man, not like this. Listen,
yeah, but I'm ready to get up out of here.
It's not for me. But yeah, I'm ready to get out of here too. I think we did a really good job covering like everything we wanted to talk about. Like
anybody in the chat who hasn't played Persona, I'm pretty sure you have. But if you haven't, you're weird for listening to this. But I respect the support and enjoy a good game, man. It's great.
Yeah, the game is amazing. I had a really fun time playing it. I'm playing it right now, because I'm trying to get enough money and I'm trying to fuse enough, like a bunch of personas before New Game Plus for my third playthrough when I inevitably come back to this in how many years, you know what I mean? So the game it's great. I wasn't sure about the turn-based combat, but I had to remind myself that I played Pokemon growing up. So I was like, all right, I can get over this, So yeah, Persona 5 is great. Definitely a must play if you like RPGs. If you like RPGs and you're not like I'll just say if you like RPGs, then it's something that I would definitely recommend to people who like story-based, like story-driven games, give the game a shot. Get it on a sale. If you don't like it, return it. That's always, like, you can always just do that. Yeah. Shout out to Enrique for stopping by and to Villain for stopping by. I don't know what happened to him, but it's fine. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Good show, guys. Good discussion. Persona 5 is lit. So you guys check that game out if you guys haven't played it.
All right. Well, let's get the fuck out of here so I can go to bed. I am exhausted.
Dude, I'm tired. I was dozing off early. I'm sleepy. I'm really gonna take a nap.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I don't have work tomorrow, so I'm gonna stay up.
Fuck you.
Play games.
Man,
Right.
we're not doing this. But catch you guys later for Saturday's Scumcast, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.
Scum.